Hey peeps, I am so excited to be able to get back into the Witchcraft and Tarot viewer request series. Today's video is answering a viewer who had asked about my kind of takeaway from the message was psychic protection. And this is something that definitely over the years I've shifted opinions on and had lots of interesting, healthy debate with other witches or spiritually minded people about. And so it's a subject that I think it's fun, not fun, but it's an intriguing subject to talk about. And I want to say, as always, of course, these are just my personal opinions, thoughts, beliefs, ideas. They're always subject to change for myself. And just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean you need to feel a certain way or that we need to agree in order to be friends. So I just always like to preface things with that these days. So I want to start by saying that I do think for those of us who identify as being empathic, highly intuitive, or energetically sensitive, we have to be aware of the draining that can happen at an energetic or a psychic level with others. Now, this doesn't necessarily just apply to people. You can also have these experiences in certain places, at events, and with physical items as well as with animate objects. So I think it's very important to be very aware of when you feel drained or when you notice a difference in your energetic well-being after an interaction, an engagement, an experience, etc. And this does not mean that you are enslaved or at the mercy of not wanting to be drained energetically. Like, it's not a fear-based thing. It's just about awareness, and I kind of consider it like preventative maintenance and general upkeep around this. So if you are someone who is empathic and identifies as highly intuitive, then you're going to notice that any interchange or exchange with another person or group of people has an effect on you. It's either going to amplify you in your best energy, or you're going to notice that there is a drain, a slight downgrade in how you're feeling energetically. And you can work with a lot of different things to help with that clearing. So my preferred way of working with energetic clearing is to, when and where possible, every day, kind of sit for a few moments in front of my altar and work with my deity and higher self, whatever you want to call that, to like clear the energy body. I do this because I read every day, and I do tend to be affected by and kind of accumulate other people's energy. And that kind of energetic clearing every day, I consider that an upkeep that assists me in staying energetically healthy and also physically healthy. So, you can also work with sage or Palo Santo or any type of sacred smoke to clear your energy body on the daily or whenever it feels like you need to. And that can be very helpful. You can also work with something called a shield. Now, this is something that you want to really explore for yourself and trust if it's right for you or not, or how it's right for you or not. There's a lot of really generic kind of new age, how to work with a shield type of thing. I'm always back and forth on how I feel about shields. First of all, I, in my line of work, need something permeable because I have to reach out and penetrate energetically whoever I'm working with in order to read well for them. If I'm so closed off energetically, I'm not going to be able to reach out and be active in how I connect with another person's energy. So you want to do some research and play around with, if I work with an energetic shield, which is like a visualization that's protecting you from other people either taking from you energetically or throwing things on you energetically, okay? I would say do some research, play around with different ways of creating that shield. And does it work? Does it help you? Does it hinder you? Can you refine it over time? All of these practices, as you grow as a person and on your spiritual path, you're going to refine and change. So don't ever feel like you're stuck to something because it worked for you at one point in time, or like you always have to do it that way because, okay? Play with the energetic shield aspect, and if this helps. If you are stepping into working with energetic shields and you enjoy it, you can play with invocation, you can play with sacred geometry, you can play with sound to create this, and you can play with visualization. So some people will see like this orb around them that only allows in what serves them and doesn't allow anything else into the space. And there's further aspects to this question, so I'm gonna dive into this in a moment, but I just wanna say, remember, or I would ask you to remember that the point of these things is not so that we never feel bad. Part of the human experience involves the contrast of feeling good and feeling bad and everything in between. So these things, guided visualization with your deity to clear your energy body every day, shields, sacred smoke, invocation, to the goddess to assist you in clearing an energetic space like this room, which gets cleared regularly because of all the spiritual work I do here. Those things aren't there to stop us from ever feeling uncomfortable or pain, or feeling pain or something that doesn't feel good. They're there to help from the energetic draining that can occur. So everything is energy, right? This is like a scientific thing. I'm not just, pulling that out of my ass. Everything is energy. Everything is made up of energy. And when two energies or various energies interact, they affect each other. So that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about when you're really open to that type of thing, you really feel and are impacted by that type of exchange. And you're going to come into contact with, I believe, at some point in time on your path, energies that feel really good with you. And so they kind of want to latch in and take. It's probably not conscious on their part. Or they feel good with you, so they want to throw their fears or whatever is in shadow in their energy onto you. Here's the kicker: we will do the same to others as well. So it's not like when I say this, we're omnipotent and other people are hurting us. This is just energy. It's neither good or bad. It simply is. And so to me, as part of my personal witchcraft practice, as a witch, as a priestess, as a psychic medium, as a teacher, I think energetic upkeep is an essential part of my practice. It's just like eating to take care of the physical body. It's something that you do, you practice regularly, and it helps everything hum at the level that you want energetically. How you'll know it's time to engage in those practices, if you're new to this, is if you feel more exhausted than normal, if someone or something has really affected your energy, if you feel like you can't function, if you feel like you can't go out in the outside world, if you feel like you can't deal with certain things energetically, that's when you want to do a clearing, because you probably have something attached or something that's kind of glommed onto you, and that energetic clearing is going to help you with that, okay? In the question the viewer asked, can this type of energetic draining that happens, like I took it kind of like from an energetic vampire, right? From an energy vampire. Can that type of draining that happens, can that affect you on the physical level? She mentioned that one of her friends ended up with a really bad flu. Can it affect you on the physical level is another question I took from this. My answer to that is yes. If I'm not taking care of myself in every way, shape, and form, and I'm banging out readings a week, my body will often get sick because I haven't allowed myself to rest, number one, first and foremost, but then also I have all of this energy that's not mine, that's attached, that hasn't been cleared, that in some ways keeps feeding, if that makes sense. So, and it's like the energetic point of contact, right? Like when you're gonna read for someone or you're dealing with someone in your life, and you open up to connect with them, like that's an open flow, a cord attaches, a connection attaches, right? So like for me, I've got to disconnect and shut that cord down with a client after a reading, or if I go hang out with a friend who's going through something difficult. I'm not necessarily breaking that type of energetic cord permanently, but I'm not allowing it to operate at full openness, because see, that takes energetically. That continues to take energetically. So it's like an upkeep thing, okay? So when it comes to, is it going to affect you physically? If you are someone who's highly affected by these things, then yes, it's going to affect you physically at a certain point in time, I would say. How much it does is, I think, unique to each of us. And if you find that this is the case, engage in daily energetic upkeep. That's going to make a really big difference. It's no different than when you are eating like crap all the time and you just feel gross, and then you change your diet and you start to eat in a way that's helping the body physically, and everything improves, right? You just feel better, and you're even thinking more clearly because you've shifted this, right? Everything improves. So from an energetic standpoint, same thing applies. Like if you're not taking care of yourself in this way, if you're not aware of this in a way that's right for you, you're going to get bogged down, and then the effect happens first in the energy body, then it moves into the emotional body, then it moves into the physical body. From a shamanic healing perspective, that's what we look at. So we know, like, so it starts in the energy body, and then eventually it's going to trickle down to the physical. In my opinion, you don't have to line up with this, remember. So it will eventually affect physically. And like I said, I will get awful colds or severe migraines that lay me out if I've been doing too much and I haven't been engaging in healthy energetic clearing practices. Now, I have to do it a lot more than most people because of my line of work. I think other people in my line of work would probably tell you the same thing. But for yourself, play with a routine that feels right around this. That means you're going to have to engage in trial and error, but you will find what works and be open to that shifting over time. Now, do I think that eventually this type of energetic drain from other individuals or experiences can kill you? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if it can kill you, but I know that it can affect you physically, okay? And if you're finding that this is the case, you want to be proactive and engage in energetic self-care upkeep. Now, do I think that something can take from you to such an extent that you become so depressed that you can't function? That's where personal responsibility comes in. So that's where we have to say, and I can say this because I've lived this in my early 20s, I really, really struggled to even leave the house because of feeling so inundated by how I was picking up on everyone's energy, and also from my own traumatic experiences on my personal path. So I'm saying this from experience when I say this. This is not me coming from a judgmental space. We have personal responsibility in how we choose to take care of ourselves. So if you're finding that this is something that really affects you, like other people and the energetic exchange with others, your personal responsibility lies in taking care of yourself and finding out what you need in order to be able to be a functioning, healthy human, because you chose the human experience for a reason. Okay, so I really want to reiterate that you are not at the mercy of this. Look at it from an empowered space. Now I know this information about myself. And now if I woke up in the morning, I was having a great day, had an exchange with someone, and all of a sudden I'm angry as fuck. Now you know, like, oh, I'm still connected with their energy. Let me go in and clear those energetic cords, clear my energy body, disconnect from them, and come back to myself. It's going to save you from arguments with your closest family members who live with you. It's going to save you from exhaustion and feeling, you know, that feeling when you're like, I was feeling great, I feel bad, what do I need to do to fix this? And sometimes we'll go into these really intense places when it's actually not about that at all. We just needed to clear and come back to ourselves. So personal responsibility, if you find that you are this affected by energetic exchanges, the power lies with you. You're not at the mercy of this, okay? The other thing that I do want to say here, which, you know, I've sat with a lot for myself over the years, is that how I take care of my physical body also affects how I'm affected by energetic exchanges. So when I'm not exercising, when I'm not eating well, when I'm not helping my physical body maneuver through the life that I have to maneuver through, that negatively impacts how strong I am from an energetic perspective with exchanges with others. So I do think there's a physical component that comes in here that it's important to pay attention to when it comes to energetic well-being. So these are my thoughts, guys. I hope you found this helpful. I do think that energetic exchanges impact the body, especially for those of us who are more sensitive to this. And I also think we have an entire toolkit to work with to assist us in being empowered in this experience instead of enslaved to it. Like I said, do some research on sacred smoke, do some research on energetic shields, and in my opinion, the best thing you can do is connect with deity, get in front of that altar or sacred space, and actually visualize and work with them to go into the energy body and clear, and then bring it back to center for yourself. I hope that this answers the viewers' questions. This was a great subject, a great topic. Thank you so much for sending me this message, my dear. I'm sorry that it took me a few weeks to get this response out. The Witchcraft and Tarot series is ongoing, guys, and that's all viewer request. So if you want me to address something or address a certain topic in this series, leave me a message down below. You can always shoot me a DM on Insta, and I will be sure to add your questions to the list. We have a wonderful list going. I freaking love this series. It's been so much fun to do this year. It's so wonderful to really get to talk to you guys about stuff that we both, all of us, want to talk about in this energy exchange. I'm sending you so much love and many blessings. I'll see you in the next video.